Hi, everybody. Dr. Gustin here. This is week 11 in human biology, and we're going to be talking about the special senses, hearing and vision this week. Before we go on to talk about week 11, I wanted to at least mention week 9. In week 9, we had a discussion, and the discussion was to ask you to talk about a story that relates to something to do with the systems we were studying at that time. And I just want to tell you that I really appreciate when people share their stories. I think it's really interesting when somebody has a medical situation in their life, whether it's them or someone close to them, that you really can learn a lot of the science behind what is the underlying cause or the underlying problems that you're having there, even what medications do. And it's a great way to learn human biology to share those stories. So thanks for sharing the stories, and I appreciate the comments that you sent to each other. Also at week 10, we had exam number 3. At the time that I'm making this video, we have not everybody has taken the exam, so I don't really have a lot of comments on that right now. I'll mention that next week. So finally, I want to give you a chance to get going on week 11. And week 11, like I said, we're going to be doing the senses. One of the things to keep in mind is a big part of this lecture is the parts and what they do. And we practice that both in lecture and in the lab that we have for this week. The one thing I want to make sure that you do is when you practice the parts, you practice how the light flows through the eyes. It hits the cornea, it goes through the pupil, through the vitreous humor. Like, what is it? What's the pathway that the light is taking? Ultimately, it's going to hit the receptors in the retina and be carried by the optic nerve to the brain for the reception of that sensory information. And you can do the same thing with the hearing. You can talk through the parts as the sound waves go and ultimately hit the receptors in the cochlea and get to the brain. Those are things that you really want to practice. So the parts and what they do. Because I review them I do it in lecture and then I review it in lab. I would recommend that you take the lecture quiz after doing the lab, but it will be up to you. But it just might give you some extra time to review that content if you do the lab first. So I can't think of anything else really pressing other than it's week 11. We really have 2 more weeks of new content. We have digestive system, and then I put in a lecture on COVID and vaccines. And then the last week of class, we have a test and a discussion. So we're really winding down here. You're having any issues, come talk to me. If you just want to talk to me, come talk to me. Come to my office hours. I'm missing you guys. Remember, office hours, you can access them by going to the course homepage, and there's a link there to office hours. It's Monday and Thursday, 10 to 12, or you can make your own office hours. Good luck. Hope you guys are hanging in there. Take care.